So the first Vantage we're going to take a look at is the 240. This one's powered with a 300 V8. I have piloted this boat with both the 350 L6, the old supercharged Verado, as well as the V8 300, and there is no performance difference between the two of them. The 300 has tons of torque. They come out of the hole the same, pretty much the same top speed. So if you're debating between the 350 or the 300, honestly, get the 300. It's going to be a much better motor, actually more fuel efficient. So overall, I think the 300 is the best choice. This boat's great. Really a great boat. Layout for a family. Tons of seating everywhere that you look. Up here in the bow. So when you get onto the 240 Vantage, this one does not have the optional kind of sink area, work area here. You can get like a countertop with a cooler that goes underneath. I actually prefer this opening here. It just gives you a lot more room as you get onto the boat. If you want a cooler, you can always have one mounted down there. But I feel like this really does clean up the starboard side here. You do have the Starboard Helm with your Ray Marine. So sitting up here at the helm, you can see you got a clear line of sight through the windshield, which is really nice. A lot of the dual consoles tend to have the top of the windshield that comes right into your line of sight. And then also, even when you're up on the bolster, you can see again that windshield is right out of your line of sight. So I really do enjoy this helm. You get tons of visibility as well as tons of protection with this window closed. And then that air dam closed. You can be running into headwinds, sea spray, stuff like that. You stay out of the wind and you stay dry, which is great. And the rest of the family stays comfortable too. You know, this is really comes down to being an entertaining boat, a family boat. So you do have the port side lounge, which does have multiple configurations that you can do. You're gonna have it rear facing slightly, so if you want to have a conversation, have two people here, have two people here on the stern seat, it does give you that ability. You can also put this all the way down forward, and now you have a full port side lounge, so that you can sit there rear facing. Two people can comfortably be on this. You know, when the boat's at anchor or running, you know, it's a great area to just lounge and enjoy the day. Put the seat back up here. So this double-sided seat, the front half is actually a cooler, so you can use that as a cooler if you like. It does have a drain. You do have storage here as well, and this does also function as a seat back, so you can put your lounge down. You do have the bar that comes down, connects there, so that you also have a forward-facing lounge. So there's a lot of utility in this seat itself. So with that stern seat stowed there, you do have a lot of area that you can use for fishing. You can get down into your mechanical area here, which you can also use for storage. Big deck drains here on the back, which is great. So the one thing that the 240 has that the 230 didn't is, number one, you do have a fish locker in the floor. So you can use that for rod storage. You can use that for a fish locker. And the other thing that you do have the ability to have is the forward boarding ladder, which is really nice, but also the windlass. And you couldn't option these two together on the 230. You can on the 240. So it makes for a great sandbar boat. Up here in the forward area, you know, you do have a full cushioned area. You can get a drop-in that goes there, so it's a completely level lounge. You do have the ability to put a table up in there. I do find the table to be a little tight on this boat. I don't know that I would use it very much. I would prefer actually to have a table set up here in the back. So when you're entertaining, you got the lounge, you've got the rear seat. That to me is a more usable area for a table. Up here, so you do have storage underneath the helm area, and you got multiple ways that you can access that. You do have the seat here, which flips up to get your access into there. The other thing that you do have here is a little trash chute, so you can put a trash can down in there. And then you can also access that, close out your wind door, and then you can get access into there as well. Another really nice feature about dual consoles is the ability to have a head here on the port side. Now the 240, I mean, let's be honest, it's not super huge. As an adult, it could be used if you needed to, but having this area for kids is fantastic. If they need to change out of wet, bathing suits, need to use the bathroom, having this brings a whole bunch of function and usability to the boat that you're not going to get in most center consoles. You can get a bathroom in a center console, but honestly, it's still not as big as this, and it's nowhere near as easy to get into. Most of the center consoles have a smaller door right here, so you really kind of have to contort yourself to get in here. On this layout, even as a full-size adult, you can get in there pretty easily. So, like I was saying, dual consoles give you a lot of function for family, and they also do give you a lot of comfort as well. With this whole enclosure closed up, you can be running the boat, like I said, you can be out of the wind, you can be out of the spray, so it's great. It really does provide a lot of function, a lot of comfort, and if you're looking for a family boat and are looking at center consoles, and you really need to think about how I'm going to use the boat, what's going to be most comfortable for everybody. I would always recommend, if the majority of your use is going to be for family, look at a dual console. And the 240 Vantage is the smallest in the Whaler fleet, but it provides a lot of form, a lot of function, and just all around a great boat. So the next boat that we're going to take a look at here is the 280 Vantage. The 280 Vantage and the 240 Vantage have the same cockpit layout. So you have the same port side lounge seat here, same sort of helm area, same stern seat. You do get a rear-facing jump seat here on the starboard side. So, when you have the same layout in a larger cubic foot area, you do have a lot more open space. So that's one thing that you'll notice that the 280 has over the 240. Some options that the 280 has that you cannot get on the 240. Port side boarding door, swim area, so you can put a ladder in there, which, if you're in the water swimming at the sandbar, tied up to the dock, really nice way of getting on and off the boat. The other thing that you do get with the 280 that you don't have on the 240 is the in-floor fish boxes. So on both sides here, you do have that ability to have fish storage here in the stern. You do have the same mechanical area, so this comes up to access all of your mechanicals, and then you can use that as storage as well. Again, same port side seat here for the lounge. You do have the table. The bow area on the 280 is larger, so you can do the same layout up here in the bow area. Again, you can have a table or you can have a full drop-in cushion. You do have the same windlass and boarding ladder option up front here. Between the two boats, the helm is actually pretty similar as well. The one thing that you do have the option on the 280 to get is joystick piloting. So you do have your joystick here, your twin throttles. Overall, the helm is about the same size. Again, you do have a nice clear line of sight there. Sitting at the helm, once you're on the bolster, that's about your line of sight there. So this windshield is a little bit higher. When you're on the bolster, it is a little bit in the way, but with it being taller, there's no reason why I think you need to be up on the bolster. The thing that the 280 does have that the 240 doesn't in the windshield is fully integrated and welded single piece structure here that is integrated into the top itself. So you have your struts built into that, and this window frame is not a standalone piece, it's a fully functional structural piece. Overall, again, the helm is about the same size. On the 280, you do have a little bit larger of a bathroom area. This is actually pretty easily used by a full-size adult. It's get in, get out. You got more storage. You do have a sink in there. So this is a little bit more realistic of a bathroom for family use for all members of the family. You do have the same storage area here on the starboard side, so again, you can close that door and access it. You do have the lift-up cushion in the front. So this boat functions a lot of the same way that the 240 does. just a little bit bigger hull overall. Again, you know, the 280 has a very similar running surface to the Outrage, so it's an extremely capable boat. And we're going to take a look at the 320 next. So the 230 Vantage is a completely different boat than the 280 and 240. Like I said, the 280 and the 240 have a very similar cockpit layout, except for you get a lot more space in the 280. The 320 is a completely different animal. You have a much larger bow area here, and we do have the drop-in cushion. So you have more seating in the lounge area up here. You can take this out, you can put a table in, you can fit a lot of adults around this. You do have the boarding ladder up front. However, it's the rest of the boat that functions completely differently. You do have, you know, your standard helm here on the starboard side. You have your port side passenger seat forward facing. But you do have a full outdoor kitchen here, which does have a refrigerator, does have a grill, storage. You do have a live well if you want to use it as that, or a cooler. You've got a fully functioning sink. The other thing that you do have is a 3-person stern seat versus a 2-person that you would get in the 280. The 3-person stern seat does fold up and away, so you do have that same function. So you can close that up, and you got a lot of functional space back here. But because this really is an entertaining boat, you got the ability to drop in a table here. You've got rear-facing, forward-facing passengers who can converse back to back here. You do have forward-facing port side passenger seats, so as you're running, you do have a little bit kind of as theater seating, so this is a little bit taller than that. That seat does have the ability to come up. So while this is back-to-back, you can also change this layout. You do have the ability to turn this into a forward-facing lounge. So as you're running, you can have people here in the port side helm area. You can have people on the lounge here. You can also drop this down and have a rear-facing lounge that does connect to the stern seat. So you have a lot of padded area here for lounging in the sun, entertaining. So there's a lot of function to this. The other thing you're able to do here is, with the port side passenger seat, while it's forward facing in this configuration, it does have the ability, again, to spin 180 degrees. So again, you can drop in a table here, so you can have adults face-to-face there, you can have people face-to-face here as well. You do have the ability to drop in a table in this location, as well as here in the stern cockpit area. So you can have a lot of people here hanging out, chatting. You do have a full outdoor kitchen, so you do have the refrigerator down here. You do have an electric grill. Your live well or cooler is up here in this area. A little bit of storage and a fully functioning sink. So this provides you, like I said, a great opportunity to have people out, whether you're at the sandbar, at the dock, or just wherever you want to be. You get to entertain people in a fashion that you just can't on some of the other boats. While there's lots of dual consoles out there, very few of them have this function in the overall cockpit. So this boat really is unique when it comes to the dual console marketplace. So we'll take a look here at the helm. Again, this is in the seated position here. So looking out over the helm area, I do have a clear line of sight. I don't have obstructions from the top of the windshield. Even when I'm on the bolster here, sitting up a little bit higher, I still have a clear line of sight. Like the 280, the windshield frame on this boat is fully integrated with the hardtop. So it is a single piece unit. You do have 2 Bomar hatches up here, and on this hardtop, which is huge compared to the 280, you're able to open these up, get some wind in, and get some ventilation through the area. So, like the 280 as well, you do have a sunshade up here. So this is a full rollout sunshade that can go all the way to the back and provide you shade for the entire cockpit area. As far as this boat goes, it has been around for a number of years. So this is not a new boat in the Whaler fleet, but it is a great piece that kind of rounds out the overall 240, 280, and 320 offerings in the Vantage line. The dual console layout, like I've mentioned before, has become extremely popular. If you do a lot of family boating, a lot of entertaining, this really is the boat line I say that you should take a look at and really consider. It's going to be way different than a center console as far as functionality, And I think it provides you a great opportunity to have a lot more comfort that you won't get in a center console. So that's the Vantage line from 240, 280 to the 320. Hope you guys enjoyed it.